Kobbie Mainoo, the manipulative midfield maestro. What a full debut in the Premier League yesterday against Everton in that brilliant 3-0 win. But what a performance from the young man. You guys are all, I'm sure by now, very aware of how highly I rate this guy. I think he's an incredible young footballer. But one thing I said before the match was that to come into this hostile environment against Everton in a poor United side, if he can shine in that environment in particular, he could be a really special talent, but I was unsure how he was going to do. One thing I didn't quite expect from him was for him to literally be the heartbeat of the side. Number 37 there, we can see at the middle, at the heart of everything. Completely keeping this game ticking over in the midfield. And, you know, his fellow professionals recognise this. Bruno Fernandes said he's the man of the match. For his age, he has so much qualities. He sees things before others. He is comfortable with the ball and never makes a mistake. Kobbie put in a great performance yesterday, for sure, very good. He's had a lot of compliments. Gary Neville has labelled him as a Manchester City-esque midfielder. Roy Keane has said it's a wonderful debut. Those are some pretty special players to be talking about Mainoo in such a bright light. But he completely deserves it. Look at these stats. Absolutely incredible. Now, these are from the Devil's DNA on Twitter. I'll make sure to leave a link in the description down below. Make sure you go follow them. They do loads of great content on Manchester United. That is at the Devil's DNA, a great account which I recommend you check out. But the first thing I want you to do is look at this middle section here. The passes received. Look how many of those are in deep areas. Now, initially, it just looks like a load of dots on a screen, right? But what this really points out is just how much he was willing to receive the ball in deep areas. But not only how much he was willing to receive the ball, how much his fellow professionals trusted in him. These are senior players giving the ball to a young 18-year-old on his debut in tight spaces and trusting his ability. If I move myself over a little bit, we can then see that, you know, his passes, how well he was doing with the passes. Brilliant. He was keeping things ticking over, sideways, backwards, forwards, a little bit of everything. And then over there, over that side, we've got the defensive actions. This was a guy who literally done everything. Now, that's one of the things I like about him so much. He's an all-action midfielder who does things at his own pace. A lot of the time when we see all-action players, they're all, you know, hustle and bustle and frantic. Kobbie Mainoo isn't that. He's all-action, but so calm and elegant in the way that he does it. It's just incredible to watch. Now, it was this exact all-action approach which made him the perfect midfielder for United yesterday. Because at times he's dropping in between the centre-backs to form a back three, from where he's nice and calm on the ball, keeping the ball ticking over. At times he's playing as a solo pivot, at times he's playing as a double pivot. We saw him popping up at right back and receiving the ball, left back and receiving the ball to play out from the back, but also defending in wide areas, both on the left hand side and in middle, making blocks in his own penalty area, pushing forward to support the attack. He genuinely done a little bit of everything, and it's why long term I think he could become such a good 8. But let's just go back to the stats again from the Devil's DNA. We can see that he was involved all over the pitch, but particularly the hub in the middle, and I think that's where he done so well. But his game actually started in a slightly different fashion, and very early on, I quite like seeing this. He goes up and wins the header. Quite a simple thing, but he's out jumping a guy like Decore, and what this is doing is very early in the game, he's showing, you know, I'm here to compete. You know, he's showing that he isn't just an 18-year-old coming in to do pretty things on the ball. He's physically capable and ready to play in the Premier League. Throughout youth football, he has always been well ahead of those around him from a physical point of view. He's much more developed than most young players. And again, to challenge someone like Decore in the air, kind of shows that. And it was the theme of the rest of the game. For the rest of the game, from a physical point of view, he was getting involved. This time he's in the left back area, puts a tackle in the slide tackle, wins a goal kick for his side. It's a good challenge. Now we've got him on the other side of the pitch. Now if we get to it here, we can see that he's going to cover a lot of ground here, getting across to get in front of his man. But what does he do? He gets there and he slides in with the block. And this is something which I've highlighted is a good thing about him. A lot of people are talking about his on-the-ball stuff. But I think out of possession, the fact that he is so mobile is huge for this United team. Because when Casemiro plays here, as good as he is, he's not mobile. And the same for Christian Eriksen. Kobbie Mainoo covers a lot of ground, and we've seen that. So there, he's defending left back initially, but then also in this sort of right channel, he's flying in front of a shot, putting a slide and blocking. We also saw a demonstration of defensive intelligence and reading of the play with the goal line clearance, if I can find it. Now, apologies if at times this is a little bit jittery. I've got a lot of clips here to go through. But here he is. We can see him on the edge of the penalty area. The shot is going to come in from Calvert-Lewin. It eventually deflects. But Kobbie Mainoo is going to make sure that he is on this line, just in case, you know, his teammates are in a spot bother. And again, that's exactly what happens. He reads the game well, gets in, makes a slide tackle clearance outside of the right boot and hooks it away from danger. That's a goal line clearance on your debut. it's not bad. This was vital for Manchester United at the time. At the time, it was only 1-0. This keeps United in the lead, so it's brilliant defensive work, and I really was impressed with that side of his game. If we look at his numbers over here, defensive actions, we can see that he was performing defensively all over the pitch. Now, Kobbie Mainoo's defensive performance alone would have been enough for me to class him as Manchester United's best player on the pitch. He was absolutely brilliant. But we haven't even got to the exciting stuff yet, and that is what he was doing on the ball. And this is where I call him a manipulative midfield maestro. The 3 M's, because oh my days, he is good in midfield. And what he brings is a real tactical flexibility. So first up here, we've got him here dropping in between the 2 centre-backs. Again, this is a pretty simple thing he's doing here, right? It's nothing particularly impressive, but it just shows, again, a young player willing to drop in between his centre-backs, get his foot on the ball, slow things down and go, you know what, yeah, I do belong here. He's showing that little bit of swagger. Again, dropping deep, demanding the ball, putting his foot on the ball and going, yeah, you know, this is my level. And then from here, he just keeps it nice and simple with the forward pass. We also have a demonstration of some one-touch passing. This is really good into play. So he receives the ball from out wide. I'm just worried, actually, about being in the way. Let me move myself over. He receives the ball from out wide. He plays the first time pass into Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay gives it back to him. And then he plays a pass outside of the right boot, backwards to a teammate. Again, it's pretty simple stuff, but it's just showing a confidence. The fact that he's using, first of all, the one touch to do it in the first place, but also poking it with the outside of his right foot. Again, it's just showing a little bit of confidence, a little bit of swagger that, again, this is the level he belongs at. And his passing was good throughout the game. We've got another good pass here. Now, this one is more of a progressive pass. This is more about getting the ball forward for your side. Let me move myself back over to the other side of the screen like so. This is a pass which is going to take out several Everton players. I believe it's 4 in total. So he receives the ball here. It's not a particularly intense phase of the game. There's not much going on. The game's slowed down a little bit. Kobbie Mainoo has the ability to change the tempo. And this is what I mean when I say football is played at his speed. He is in control of it. What he does here, forward pass, which takes out 4 Everton players. These 4 Everton players are now out of the game because Kobbie Mainoo has threaded it through to the winger out here. Now, I say the winger, I think this might be Harry Maguire on this occasion. But the principle is still the same, right? He's taken out 4 Everton players with 1 pass through the lines. And his good progressive passing didn't stop there. On this occasion, he's got a decision to make. Manchester United have just had a set piece, the ball has come back out, and he's been given the ball. Now, most players here just pass the ball backwards to Dalot or maybe all the way back to the goalkeeper. But not Kobbie Mainoo. With a brilliant bit of balance and also passing ability, vision, weight of pass, he lifts this ball over the top of the Everton defence, allowing Bruno Fernandes to get into this position. So Kobbie Mainoo, like I said, on the halfway line, had a decision to make. Do I just play it safe, recycle the ball, keep it for my side, or can I be really dangerous, really progressive, really penetrate the opposition defence? He goes for the latter, plays the ball in behind, and Bruno Fernandes gets into a really good position. So we can see again that Kobbie Mainoo had a good passing performance, shown in the fact that he was the heartbeat for the side, and that he was completing passes all over the pitch. So far, we've seen that he was incredibly good defensively, covered every blade of grass, and helped his side out from that point of view. We've also seen that on the ball, he was nice and calm, kept the ball ticking over with one-touch passing, but was also expansive and confident to pass the ball forward. But we still haven't got to the best bit, and that is the dribbling side of his game. The side of his game which, to me, is just next level. And it's all about manipulation. It's all about small details on the ball. So here he is given a sort of bouncing pass in the middle of the park. A pass which no one particularly likes to receive because it's a little bit difficult to control. It's not an issue for Kobbie. He gets the ball down quite nicely and under control and now looks to play forward. Now, first of all, most players would play this pass to Luke Shaw. But as you can see, Jack Harrison here, his body position is ready to run this way. So if he did play the ball, it would most likely be intercepted. Although not guaranteed, it's quite likely that the pass would get cut out. So what does Kobbie do? He decides, I need to move Harrison before I can pass the ball to Shaw. So first of all, he shapes his body one way. Now we can see that Harrison is very much focused on going to Shaw. Look at the body position of the 2 players here. Harrison thinks, okay, the pass is going to Shaw, let me get over, because Kobbie has kind of baited him into doing that. What we're then going to see is a change of direction from Kobbie. Now Harrison is unsure. Now we can see he is much more flat-footed. And in terms of his balance there, he's not ready to sprint forward with and kind of engage the ball, right? You can see the balance of Harrison here. He's not ready to sprint forward. I'm pretty sure we can all tell that. Therefore, Kobbie has got him off balance and out of position, and now he has a simple pass to Luke Shaw. This is incredibly simple, and most people will watch this and not even particularly notice what he's done. But it's just the fact that 2 or 3 times in about 0.5 seconds there, he's gone like that and thrown Harrison off balance 3 times in about half a second. It's minor details which allow him to have easier passing options. It's why his passing is so good, because he manipulates the opposition so much to give himself an easier pass. we've got this one here. Here we've got a ball coming across the pitch, and it's quite a short pass. Now what most players would do here is rush towards the ball to make sure that they beat the opposition to it, right, to get control of the ball. Not Kobbie Mainoo though. He's patient. He waits for the ball to come to him, knowing that this will drag Dominic Calvert-Lewin out of position. Calvert-Lewin takes the bait. He rushes in towards Kobbie Mainoo, who has manipulated him here. He's got him out of position and then exploited it. It's genius play. Again, it's a very, very simple detail. Just waiting, drawing the opposition onto you, and then bursting past them. It's absolutely brilliant. Allows him to move the ball forward. He works the ball out wide. It's more good attacking play. He was also good on the turn in deeper areas as well, though. So here he's just received the ball from one of the centre-backs, like so. And look at Doucouré's body positioning, ready to apply pressure. What we're going to see here is Kobbie takes his first touch. Calvert-Lewin and Doucouré both think that Mainoo is likely to play this way, which is why these two Everton forwards are facing that way, right? Ready to stop him going that way, ready to close down the next pass. Kobbie Mainoo recognises this, just drops the shoulder, gets on the turn. See you later, lads. Apologies for the glitch here. Let's just let it play through. He's done them. With a really bit of simple footwork, he has done the pair of them. He carries the ball forward and then plays the pass forward to his teammate. Again, it's really simple play, but it's something which not many United midfielders do. We've got another example here. So here, Doucouré is applying pressure, and the simple thing for Kobbie Mainoo to do here is pass to Harry Maguire. You can see Harry Maguire doesn't want the pass. He's pointing here to say, can you give it to someone else, please, mate? I don't particularly want it. And Doucouré has recognised this, so is going high to press. Now, fortunately for United, it's Kobbie Mainoo on the ball, so all he does is drops his shoulder, baits Doucouré to go one way, turns the other way, and see you later, mate. Doucouré doesn't get close to him on this occasion because his footwork has been manipulated by Kobbie Mainoo moving the ball. He accelerates past him. It's nice and easy. By the way, if my eye looks a bit odd, don't worry. The reason this video has been a bit choppy at times is because hay fever is absolutely destroying me, but we're getting through the video. Anyway, once again, we've got Kobbie Mainoo facing his own goal. 3 Everton players ready to press. This guy here, Calvert-Lewin, anticipating a backward pass, so he's ready to go press the next one. Doucouré's coming in, the fullback's coming in. Everyone is pressing Kobbie Mainoo, expecting him to go backwards. Everyone expects this except Mainoo, who instead drops the shoulder, turns the other way, uses that low centre of gravity, carries the ball forward, and then pokes the ball past the next player with the outside of his boot. So rather than being forced backwards into a situation where United would now be pressed, Manchester United have found themselves on the front foot moving forward again. It's just great play. And then we got this one, which is one of the best for me. And it's a similar situation to the one that we saw earlier. Onana's got the ball, splits the Everton front two. We can see that United are 4 versus 2 here, with Harry Maguire just behind me. So United 4 versus 2. Onana plays the ball straight into Kobbie Mainoo. Shows trust in the young lad. Kobbie Mainoo shows why. Again, Calvert-Lewin and Doucouré are ready to press him. He waits just long enough for Doucouré to get close enough to him. If he had done this much earlier, Doucouré, we can see, was in a more defensively set position. So if Kobbie takes this forward touch now, it's easy enough for Doucouré to kind of change direction and track Kobbie Mainoo back right. But because he waits a little bit longer, waits for Doucouré to get close to him, now when he accelerates, Doucouré, you can see his stance, his feet position, he can't accelerate in the same way which Kobbie Mainoo does, allowing him to accelerate forward. He plays a ball over the top, which doesn't quite come off. But if it had, United would have gone from one goalkeeper to the other box with 2 passers, all because of this lad's ability to get on the turn. Now, what excites me the most about all of this isn't that he's a good passer, that he's a good ball carrier, that he can dribble and things like that. It's the mental traits he is showing in his performance. Again, in a really difficult game away against Everton, he's showing temperament, composure, confidence in his own ability to demand the ball in some really tight situations. Again, the fact that he was literally the heartbeat of the side and involved in everything, every single part of the game, as an 18-year-old making his debut, really shows something about him, the belief he has in his own ability. But then we saw the determination, the work rate from a defensive point of view, and then the intelligence on the ball to manipulate the opposition. That is why Kobbie Mainoo was Manchester United's best player, because in a cauldron, in a pressure cooker environment, he was the one who was calmer than everyone else on the pitch, and that is why he was Manchester United's best player. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Was he the best player? What impressed you most? Are there any clips I've missed out that you would have liked to seen? What did you maybe not like so much about his performance? Let me know what you think in the comments. But apart from that, we are finished for today. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.